Cybersecurity, recent policy and guidance on federal vulnerability disclosure programs. September 8, 2020. The Trump administration has released policy and guidance on vulnerability disclosure programs, VDP, for federal agencies. VDPs help organizations secure their information technology by allowing the public to discover and report weaknesses in systems in the hope that the organization will mitigate the vulnerabilities. Vulnerabilities can be exploited by malicious actors to compromise systems, which may lead to data breaches. On September 2, 2020, the Office of Management and Budget released Memorandum M2032 on improving vulnerability identification, management, and remediation, and the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, released Binding Operational Directive 2001 (BOD) to develop and publish a vulnerability disclosure policy. Policies. Memorandum M2032 establishes the policy of a federal VDP and agency responsibilities. The memorandum states that a VDP includes traditional vulnerability disclosure policies, that is, an open program where the public can find vulnerabilities in IT systems, bug bounty programs, that is, a program in which public and vetted researchers are paid to find vulnerabilities, and penetration testing, that is, a private program where researchers are hired to discover ways to attack systems. M2032 states federal agencies shall create plain-language VDP policies that articulate which systems are in bounds for research and what activities researchers may perform to discover vulnerabilities. Declare that good faith research, as opposed to probing for malicious purposes, is authorized, assuring that the agency will not pursue legal action against the researcher. Create a reporting mechanism for identified vulnerabilities. Create a process for timely agency feedback to researchers on report status. Create a process to inform agency system owners of reported vulnerabilities. Separate reporting metrics on VDP use from reporting on cybersecurity incidents. Binding operational directives are compulsory for federal agencies and provide information on how to implement policy. BOD 2001 provides agencies additional guidance on how to create and use VDPs. This guidance includes elements and actions that the VDP should and should not include. A description of how agencies should handle reported vulnerabilities. Requirements to report to CISA and on the use of the VDP. A VDP policy template. Links to resources, for example, standards and academic research, to help agencies. Ways CISA can help both agencies and researchers report and mitigate vulnerabilities. This BOD finalizes a draft that CISA released for public comment in November 2019. Table 1 lists the deliverables required per M2032 and BOD 2001. Table 1. Required deliverables. Source. Memorandum M2032 Improving Vulnerability Identification, Management, and Remediation. Deliverable. Implementation guidance on incorporating a vulnerability disclosure program, VDP, for an agency's information security program. Due, 1 November 2020. Delivered 2 September 2020. Publish and implement a VDP. Due, 1 March 2021. Create a system to identify vulnerabilities discovered at one agency and track whether those vulnerabilities are common across the federal government. Due, 1 April 2021. Develop plans and milestones for the agency VDP to cover all agency IT systems. Due, 1 April 2021. Examine the need for a government-wide bug bounty program for common federal IT products and make recommendations to Develop business requirements for a common, centrally managed bug bounty program. Due, 1 April 2021. Publish a public report on the implementation of agency VDPs, including common challenges and vulnerability findings. Due, August 28, 2021. Source. Binding Operational Directive 2001. Develop and publish a vulnerability disclosure policy. Update the contact and organization fields for each web address an agency has registered on the .gov domain. Due, 2 October 2020. Increase the scope of an agency VDP by at least one Internet-accessible system. Due, May 30, 2021. Begin quarterly reporting on VDP submissions and their disposition. Due, 1 June 2021. All Internet-accessible IT systems must be within the scope of an agency VDP. Do. 2 September 2022. Federal agencies have varying levels of control over their IT. As such, M 2032 and BOD 2001 allow agencies flexibility in creating their VDPs. Agencies are responsible for addressing vulnerabilities they can control, for example, the configuration of IT systems, and are encouraged to work with vendors to resolve ones they cannot, for example, a software bug in a commercial product. Additionally, agencies are still required to maintain adequate security measures to protect their IT systems and data. A VDP does not replace those practices. VDPs are separate from the Vulnerabilities Equities Process (VEP), an interagency process by which the government decides whether it should disclose a new vulnerability or reserve it for military or intelligence community use. The National Security Agency Director testified that the government discloses around 93% of identified vulnerabilities to the affected technology company through the VEP. History of VDPs. Congress has investigated and legislated on the use of VDPs. The Department of Homeland Security has VDP authorization, which borrows from the Department of Defense's program. CISA manages a coordinated VDP where researchers may report vulnerabilities to CISA, for CISA to facilitate reporting and mitigation with the system owner. The federal government has endorsed VDPs as a way to improve cybersecurity. Table 2 lists some of these endorsements. Table 2. Selected federal reports recommending vulnerability disclosure programs. Organization. The Cyberspace Solarium Commission. Report title. Commission Report. Notes. Recommendation 4.2 supports VDPs to address known and unpatched vulnerabilities. Year. 2020. The White House. National Cyber Strategy of the United States of America. Promotes the use of vulnerability disclosure, crowdsourced testing, and other innovative assessments that improve resiliency ahead of exploitation or attack. 2018. U.S. Department of Justice. A Framework for a Vulnerability Disclosure Program for Online Systems. Created to help organizations identify considerations to inform a formal VDP. 2017. National Telecommunications and Information Administration, NTIA. Vulnerability Disclosure Attitudes and Actions, a research report from the NTIA Awareness and Adoption Group. Assesses the use of VDPs among researchers and technology companies and discusses ways that VDPs may improve cybersecurity outcomes. 2016. Author information. Chris Jacaran, Analyst in Cybersecurity Policy.